starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
This is Marcus Diamond, Cleveland 13 News, and we are here at Rivers Casino draft night, and I have a legend here. Oh my God, it's Ray Boom Boom Mancini. Ray, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No doubt. I heard that you are a Buffalo Bills fan. Could you tell me a little something about that for TV when I ask you something?
Well, let me tell you a story. Growing up in Youngstown, I was a Cleveland Brown fan, obviously. Leroy Kelly was my guy. Eric Barnes, of course, Paul Warfield when he played for the Browns back then, before he went to Miami. So I loved the Brownies. And I remember growing up with Gene Hickerson, man. He was there forever. He never thought he was going to leave. But 30 years, as you grow, players change, they move. And some of your favorite players leave. So growing up when I was in high school, I was an Oakland Raider fan. I was a Raider fan. I loved the black and gold. And
you switched a lot of teams.
Yeah. No. I'm going to tell you, my kids tell me, oh, you jumped the bandwagon. I don't.
Bo Jackson?
No. Before that, when I met John Madden, when he interviewed me, when I was fighting, he interviewed me, I gave him his whole lineup. They were one of the first teams to do the 34 defense. It was Dave Rowe on one side. John Matuszek was on it, but there was a guy before John Matuszek that their Sistrunk in the middle, number 16 in the middle. And then I gave him the linebackers, Bill Piano and all these guys. And he said, "Oh man, I know your team." Then you go across the middle, get Tatumized, and then the great team, man. I just love them guys because they were very physical. So I love the team. So through the years, I go teams, but as I gotten older, I follow guys. Now I follow players. Like I'm a fan. When Peyton Manning went to Denver, I became a Denver fan. Now my sons, I tell people, I jump my sons. I don't jump the band when you stay loyal to your team, stick with it. Even though I've done the opposite, but my son's been one son has been a San Francisco fan long before he did the connection. He knew the Youngstown connection. He was a young kid. He knew nothing about it. He just loved the colors. And then he followed Terrell Owens. And then they stunk out the joint the years before they were stinking out the joint. He stuck with them. My other son's been a Chicago Bear fan. Why? I don't know. Bear fan.
Wow.
And they're stinking out the joint. But he stuck with them. So, Pop, you taught us never to jump that bandwagon. No. But I follow players. I make no bones about it. I follow players.
I get it.
Because free agency changed the game. It's changed the game. So I go with players, But so now the Cleveland Browns, they break our hearts, man. They're breaking our hearts. I can't be a Browns fan.
They're gonna break our hearts tonight.
I hope they go with the second pick. They pick do the right thing because our defense can't stop Cole. So they got to go with that Carter, Abdul Carter. Just we got Miles on one side, we got to have somebody on the other. We don't. Our offense, come on, man. I mean, we made Flacco's got to be starter, but we made a bad decision with Watson a couple of years ago. So that we take the hit, And but because we have the receivers, we have the guys that walk, they're leaving, they're coming and going, it's like a rest stop. So, but we didn't show up our defense. Anyhow, But growing up, it was my South Side. Most of my guys were Pittsburgh fans because we're close to Pittsburgh. North South close to Cleveland, so right.
East Side.
Yes. Well, I thought I'm from the South Side. And we have a saying: if you're from the South Side, you're from the outside. But look, I became a Buffalo Bills fan because first I love Josh Allen. I love the Brownie, the Bills. The coaching, they got a great coaching staff, and they're getting back to physical. But I like Josh Allen again. I follow him. It's close to Youngstown, only 3 hours. So Pittsburgh, Cleveland. If I ain't gonna be one of them, it's gotta be the other closest team. Cincinnati's 5 hours south. Buffalo's 3 hours, so it's closer.
Okay. Buffalo need a dome. They need a dome real bad.
Yes. Well, I don't know if you guys agree, but I said eventually football's been doing what they've done the right thing for the last couple of years. That Super Bowl got to go to one place. I think baseball's gonna have to eventually do that. Because you can't have Pittsburgh, Cleveland in the World Series in the middle of November. Now you're gonna have to start doing the Super. I think you're gonna have to do the World Series in the same place. November, you gotta go to you gotta have to go to warm weather place.
Yes.
If you want to get it in on time.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I mean, so that's how I became a Buffaloes fan. You know, plus I have family in Buffalo. All my, you know, I have a lot of cousins, my uncles. You know, so I've been going to Buffalo since I was a kid. So you know, I followed them in the '80s with Jim Kelly and that group. You know, and Bruce Smith and you know, although they had a great team then and. So I just like what they're doing. I like what they're doing.
Yeah, they're Andre Reed and
and the other Ohio team, Cincinnati. I like what they're doing, but they spent a ton of money on Burrow, and they got the whiteout. You know, in I forgot his name now.
Talk about Chase.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jamar Chase. Yeah,
Jamar.
But other than that, man, they got to get that line. So
Yeah, they got to get him a line. They definitely got to get him a line.
So you know, so it's gonna be interesting, but this is fun. I know I'm gonna be in there. The first pick, we know what's going on there. I like Cam Ward. I think he's I think this kid's going to be able to ball. I mean, I think he's going to be able because you got to be sturdy. Because you see it, man. You got to be sturdy. Unless you're Lamar, man. Because Lamar, he's sturdy, man. But he's a different type of cat, that's for sure. But the game's changed, man. It's because when you guys like Cam Newton. 6'5", 250. That's back. Gene Hickerson was 6'5", 250. And he was the biggest guy in the line. That was in the Cleveland line, right? So you got guys that are guard size playing the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're running with a 4.3, 4.4 speed. Yeah. Come on, man. So that's like, you know, so you got to have the linebackers to be able to bring them down. DBs, man, they got to be, you know, they got to be like Richard Sherman, you know. They got to be that type of guys to bring them guys down. So I just think the game's changed, the speed of the game. When you see the speed of the game, I've been on a couple sidelines at the 49ers. When you see the speed of the game, you understand, man, this is a whole different animal now than when we grew up. That speed, when you got guys, like I said, 6'6", 6'5", 250, 260, doing 4.3, 4.4, running down running backs.
Yes.
Oh, man, it's you better be able to. You got to understand the physicality of the game is why it's so different now, and that's why these guys that stay healthy. I don't know if anybody stays healthy anymore.
And that's what I was about to get to. Like I always say, this is your boy Thorough from the My Dogs podcast, where my opinion is always my opinion, and my opinion is the South Side is the sucker side of Youngstown, Ohio. We're gonna get that now. Do you like it? Hate it? What? I mean, how do you feel?
Well, I like it, but here's the thing. They changed rules something for the safety of the players, and I get it. Mm-hmm. But now you can't even breathe heavy on a quarterback without getting, you know, a penalty. So it's taken away. So when you talk about the best there ever was, and you can't talk about best ever. Mm-hmm. It's like talking about fighters, man. The game changed to the 20s and 50s. The guys then were fighting 40, 50 times a year because they learned how to fight. They're the better fighters back then.
Yes.
Better athletes now. So now when you got a quarterback like Joe Namath, you know, Joe Namath, the Johnny Unitas, and the guys of that era were getting, you know, throw the ball and they're getting cracked back block, you know, guys hitting them low, breaking their knees. Come on, man. Now you breathe heavy on a quarterback getting the penalty. So the era is different. To be a quarterback, you want to be a quarterback nowadays, of course.
You
know, if you're a DB, they should get paid eyes because you got whiteouts. They're getting, you know, they're the second highest paid.
Yes, right now.
Quarterbacks getting whiteouts. And you do a hand, you know, it's a hand fight at the game. And if you try to do the old trick, grab them a little bit, you get a penalty. You get, you know, they got the advantage. Offense got the advantage all the way through. So the physicality of the game has changed, but I get it because the players are bigger, stronger, faster. So if you want health reasons, I get it. You know, you got to change it a little bit, but we can't, you know, what's the NFL No Fun League? Come on, man. Let the guys exuberate when they make when they get a sack or something. The exuberation, let them, you know, and have the joy of it, man. Let them celebrate, man. Let them do it. Come on. Same thing with quarterback. Remember, everybody knew Billy White Shoes Johnson. When he threw a touchdown. You know, when he did, you know, we used to do the backwards. You know, we used to. What the dance he did, everyone knew it. Let these guys dance, celebrate, have some fun with it, man. Come on.
Yeah, they find these guys now. They don't want them to celebrate. It used to be fun, like when T.O. did the dance.
Oh yeah, T.O. brought it.
Yeah, man.
But I watched Shannon Sharp and Bud. Shannon Sharp asked him, when did trying to be undefeated in boxing happen where nobody wants to lose. And he said, when Floyd came out, say he was 47-0, and now because back in your day, you fought. Muhammad Ali, they call him the greatest. He lost before.
Of course.
But nowadays, nobody wants to fight because they scared to have where Shannon Sharp said a 1 where the 0 is at.
It means nothing. Most fighters lose. The only one that was Rocky Marciano, and he fought the best fighters this time, but he was an exception. But there's guys, Ali lost, said, Smoke, my guy Smoke. Look, Floyd, I was a big fan of Floyd's going the way up. I know him when he come out of amateurs. I knew his uncle, I knew his Jeff and Roger, and I knew his father too. And he's a good kid, he's a hell of a fighter. But I used to root for him because he was in the ring with guys. He had no business being in the ring early on. Fighting guys a lot more experience, and he was unbeaten. He was destroying them, and he was dropping them and finishing them. Somewhere along the line, he started playing it safe, and I knew he had bad hands and stuff. But somewhere along the way, he started playing it safe, too safe, where he took away for me, he took away. But he got in the ring with everybody. I ain't knocking him.
Yes.
And so I have a lot of admiration for the kid, but it's just hard to watch it because he played it safe. Here's the difference. People say, how you can compare guys from this era to era before. They say, how would I like that? So how you can compare them against Ray, Tommy, Duran, and Benitez. That's the 4 kings of the welterweight division. Marvel was the middleweight. The 4 kings. So let me think. So Duran would have slapped him around.
Roberto would have did some things to him.
Yeah.
If you would have caught
I said you could probably cut this part out. You probably will. Duran would have turned around, bent him over, turned him into a girl. That's what Duran would have done. 2, Tommy would have stretched him.
Yeah.
He wasn't no part of Tommy.
No.
Because the physicality would be too fast.
Correct.
Ray, of all the fights, let's go. Benitez without him talking to himself. I'm not saying he could beat Benitez, but he was no better defensive. Benitez was better, as good, if not better, defensively. Ray would have been the closest and toughest. Why? Because they were physicality, they were same size. Speed-wise, same size. But Ray would have beat him because Ray wanted to finish, was a closer. He didn't want you finishing on your feet. Ray would have closed the show. This kid, he'll slap you around for the rounds, but he don't care if he finishes the show. Yeah. That's the difference. Ray's got a mean streak that this kid don't got. Ray would have closed the show.
But he don't get hit that much, though.
Who? Floyd?
Floyd be ducking them shots.
I ain't doing this. Let me tell you something. You do this, I'd have made him piss blood for a month. Because I was banging that right here all night. That's what Duran would have did. That's what Ray would have did. Tom, you bang the guy because you just give you the give me the real. Bang. Yeah. So you can bang that all you want. And then eventually it's going to come up. That shit's going to come up.
I don't know, Ray. I think you still got some moves, man. I think you still got it.
But you know what?
Why haven't nobody did that, though?
Because the guys ain't trained right. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of good fighters, not that many good trainers anymore. It hasn't been for a long time. True. But let me tell you, let me make no bones. Floyd was a special fighter. I don't make any bones about it. Special talent, no doubt. And a good guy, too. I like him. But against the 4 guys I just said, of my era, I can't say he would beat it. No, I don't think he would beat any of them guys. But he's a special fighter.
Okay.
Wow, that's a lot.
Hey, I tell you the guy. Now, he fought Floyd fought everybody at the time. But the guy now, and he sparred with him, and he didn't have a problem with him, was Bud Crawford.
Yeah, that's what Bud.
Bud Crawford's another special talent.
Yeah.
Special talent. He could probably fought in any era.
Yes.
Because more so than Floyd. Because he's got the size. He's got the size. He can backhead. Strong kid, man. And he's got the belief in himself.
He's moving up in weight class.
Now, I admire what he's doing. Canelo's a whole different type of breed up there, man. 168. He fought 154. And he didn't hurt the guy too much. He won, but he didn't hurt the guy. 68. Canelo's a special fighter too.
Yes.
But I admire what Bud's doing. I admire him very much. So I really respect him. So I think Bud's one of the guys who could have fought in that era too.
Okay.
So what do you think about Tank Davis, Ray?
Tank's special fighter. Again, certain guys. There's only a couple of special fighters nowadays. And I love Tank. I did commentary when I was working with PBC in 2019. Did a lot of his fights. The brothers can flat out fight. He can hit. Now he starts slow people, but he's always dissecting. He's figuring you out. He's figuring you out mentally, man. So when he starts picking up the pace and starts dropping the bombs, he's strategically putting them in where he wants. He's banging in certain spots. He ain't just throwing them, and just anywhere. So Tank can fight, man. Tank's a hell of a fight.
I'm about to get him.
You about to get him?
Did Tank win the last fight?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see it.
Okay.
But no, I saw the highlights. I didn't see all that. But he got dropped. That was a knockdown. There's no excuse.
Thank you. All right.
So that referee should never do another fight ever.
Yes.
That's basic 101. Referee 101. You glove touch the ground, or you go down automatic. It's a knockdown.
That's a knockdown.
You walk to the corner. It's a disqualification. You guys come up on the ring, up on the apron. It's a disqualification. What ain't they getting? So it baffles me. And then, of course, the New York Commission was in New York, it was in New York. The fight was in Brooklyn, I believe.
Yes.
They're trying to backtrack. Oh no, they did the right. No, they didn't do anything right.
No, they
did nothing right.
Yeah.
That was a cluster from the jump, man.
Yes.
But no, man. My dad, all accounts, Lamont could fight, man. And it wasn't supposed to win that fight, but Lamont could fight. And he, it was his night, and he gave it his all. And by all accounts, won that fight. He should have got the decision. Now, I hate when fighters like Lamont don't get the decision. But if they have the rematch, he won't beat him.
Yeah.
Because Tank figure it out. He'll know his mistakes. He'll figure it out. And that was the best Lamont can do.
Yeah.
It ain't the best of Tank. And but that night he won that fight.
Not to cut you off, but
No, go ahead.
have you ever, at the end of the fight, Tank Davis said he didn't know what round it was. Do you believe that? And have you ever forgot what round it was?
No, I do believe it. You guys lose track sometimes. You lose track. But no, I never did because I'm always, I should say, because I've been hurt before too. But it's easy when you look around, look at the card. Look at the card. You walk around the ring, just look at the card. Oh, okay. I've got my bell rung a few times, but I've really never lost track with the fight. You know where you're at, because you got to know where you're at. But being in the shape, even when you're hurt, you're able to recollect and get in the ring. And then my trainer, a lot of times, my trainer Murphy Griffith, tell me, okay, Ray, man, we got this number 7. Ray, this is number 8. Pick up now. We got to pick up the pace. Keep coming, man. Keep that pressure on him. Ray, now we're in 13. Now we're in the dog rounds.
Okay.
13, 14, 15. We're in the dog rounds, man. You got to bring the dog out of him. This one you take over. This one, So I was, even if I didn't, he let me know what
He
reminded
you. Yeah. Well, okay, that's a good trainer.
Wow, this is it's a pleasure and an honor to meet you. I followed you in my youth,
Thank you.
and you were just amazing.
That's
Man. What I'm saying?
Now, are you a Browns fan?
Absolutely.
Because you got the brown all over, man. The brown hat, the brown. Are you a Brown fan?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love that. I love the fact that we stick with them. We end up breaking our hearts for a while. They've been breaking our hearts for a while. It's like the girl that she once had and she left and she keeps toying with you, right? She makes calls. Come in. I want to come in and see you, but she never does. She never does.
Oh my God.
Well, okay. Well, then, before we go, can you let everybody know, the TMD Sports followers and subscribers, who should the Cleveland Browns pick with the number 2 pick?
Abdul Carter, linebacker from the Penn State.
Okay.
We got Miles tied up on one side. We need the other side. We need the guy on the other side. So now, and then you can even do what they did with back in the day with Giants.
Come on, Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor. I said Lawrence. I said man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was Rover. He's the one who changed the game. One side, the other side. They stacked it on one side. They put him on the other side. Put him on the line. You could do with Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
And I think you should do that. Our defense can't stop a cold, like I said. So
Wow.
Our offense will score, but if you can't keep the other team from scoring, what difference does it make?
Yeah. You got a point. You got a point. But I just felt like offense was with these guys. We couldn't score no points last year.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
But we didn't have a quarterback either to that. It's a quarterback situation. Look, they screwed up with Deshaun. It was a trial. They give it a shot, but it was a mistake. I think Jimmy knows that. The owner, he knows that, and they took the hit. but it hurts us because we can't go out and get guys because the money's tied up with him. You know,
Yes,
because they guaranteed him. I don't know how you guarantee a quarterback. It's hard to guarantee anybody more than a couple, 2 or 3 years. But I'm glad he got it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's about time that these guys start getting guaranteed money.
Yes.
You know, but anyhow, so I think they got to go defense and get Abdul Carter from Penn State.
Y'all heard it. Ray,
I can respect that.
said the South Side. If you ain't from the South Side, you from the outside.
That's it, baby. That's it.
Well, you guys, we gotta go. We got so much stuff going on. Like I said, we're here at Rivers Casino. It's 2025, the NFL draft. Hopefully they do what Ray wants them to do and get Abdul Carter. Maybe not. We will see you guys next time. Hey, it's TP from the My Dogs Podcast. Let them know.
It's your boy Thurl from the My Dogs Podcast, where my opinion is always my opinion.
Make sure y'all tune into the Ulterior Sports Podcast Network and Cleveland 13 News. We'll see you later. Have a great day.